Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the Blind Press YouTube channel and Coffee Stream episode 377. And it is Monday, and I hope everyone's having a good Monday. It is a long weekend here for us in Ontario. It is Family Day here, whatever the hell that means. And we're here with Pinko has sent me some things to look at, and I have also some things to rant about. So it should be an interesting stream. So I hope, like I said, I hope everyone's doing well this weekend. I apologize for there not being a blind and special last night. There was just, honestly, last night, there wasn't much other than Trump was acquitted, and I didn't think anybody really wanted to hear more about that because everybody was covering that. So um, we just decided to kind of take a break. We are actually considering finding a different time of day to stream the blind and the special because everybody is streaming on Sunday nights at 10 and 10:30. So we are highly considering switching the time of the blind and the special stream just so that we're not streaming on everybody. Um, let's see. Hello, Lord Famine. Welcome, welcome. Glad you're here. Yeah, we really are considering changing the time of day. We haven't quite settled on a time of day yet, but yeah, definitely considering changing the time. Yeah, I bet you are. I bet you're tired of hearing that, Lord Famine. um, and so yeah, we're considering switching the time up, possibly to a Sunday morning show, before the kids get up. That might be a possibility. But we'll keep you posted with what we decide to do. Um, and so on to my rants. So I've been getting into some arguments with some low vision content creators over on the TikTok, and they've been, and these are like definitely low vision people, right? These are people that any O&M instructor or independent living skills instructor would classify as low vision, right? And there's nothing wrong with being low vision. Okay, there is nothing wrong with being visually impaired or low vision or even legally blind with some vision, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But these people are telling their following that you're either blind or you're not, and that low vision people are blind. Like people with quite obviously usable vision are blind. And some of them are even saying that they lie to sighted people and tell them that they can see less than they actually can for protection. Because apparently, sighted people are more likely to take advantage of someone who can see less, or can. So, yeah, sighted people are more likely to take advantage of you if you can see more than you admit to. Somehow. I, I'm not sure how that works. I'm not sure how the ability to catch the person taking advantage of you increasing with your vision makes it more dangerous for you. But yeah, that's what I've been up dealing with. People saying dumb shit like that. And one of the blind, or she calls herself blind, but one of the low vision creators, I was trying to have an actual discussion with her. I wasn't swearing at her. I wasn't calling her names. I was like legitimately trying to have a discussion with her. And what she does is she makes 3 response videos without tagging me in them, but then goes into my comments section of one of my videos to her and tags a whole bunch of people and calls for a dog pile. Because that's what you do when you have a coherent argument. Hello, Ghost Dog. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. And then this morning, I get, I find a video of a totally blind person who was born totally blind, saying that totally blind people who are born totally blind do not dream. And that is the facts, as she puts it. Now, I can count 5 people right now that I am friends with that were born completely blind, no light perception, nothing. One of them actually has no eyes and has prosthetics in her. She was born with no eyes and has prosthetic eyes. She dreams, and she dreams some pretty crazy fucking dreams, right? So it was like, that's the facts. People like me don't dream. It's like, no, that's you don't dream. That doesn't mean everyone else doesn't dream. Let's see. Maybe because the low vision person has a better chance of identifying the person that screwed them up. Maybe. I mean, maybe if you're going at, they can ID them and then get flack for eyewitness identification. I don't know. But that's like, it's just crazy. Like, the amount of times I wish I had some sight so I could have caught the people stealing shit from me. Like the time my friend stole 3/4 of the makeup that I was holding on to for my best friend and my entire pack of cigarettes in one day. Would have been nice to see him doing that. Anyway, that's my stupidity for the day. Let's open the news and find out about some of that stupidity, shall we? Let's hop on over to Twitter. Here we go, over to the Twatter to find the news from Pinkhollow. Direct messages. Okay. I went too far. Here we go. My DMs with Pinkhollow. And what's the first thing that we have here? Let's take a look here.
12:05 p.m. Custom emojis. Full screen. Track. Live. Tap. Glow. Live. 1. Welcome to Live.
Let's see.
Chat publicly is blind press. Ellipsis. Text field. Double tap to edit. Use the rotor to access misspelled words.
Okay. So here we go. Window. Here we are. So I'm also pretty happy because I ended up hitting 10,000 followers over on the TikTok app. Okay, Chrome tab. All right, let's take a look here. Block recap. COVID-19 community cases in Oakland. Oh, this is in, so New Zealand, I think, locked down again.
12:10 p.m. Ghost Dog 999. Hey, Lord Fannin. 12:09 p.m. 12:09 p.m. Congrats, VP.
Thank you.
12:05 p.m. Chat messaging.
So yeah, it's, New Zealand, I think, locked down yesterday again. So this is from Auckland, New Zealand. Oh, maybe I should turn up. Yeah, right.
People in Auckland need to. End of. People. End of. People in Auckland need to work from home where possible. Children are asked not to attend school. The Prime Minister says the new restrictions will be reviewed every 24 hours.
Every 24 hours? You're going to review the restrictions every 24 hours? Dude, if you're not sure, don't do it.
Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern said Cabinet has decided that from 11:59 p.m. tonight, Auckland will move to Alert Level 3 for 3 days until midnight Wednesday.
Why 3 days?
The rest of the country will move to Level 2 for the same period. This will be reviewed every 24 hours.
So you don't know whether you should be in lockdown, and you're just guessing. Is that what I'm to understand here? Like, why 3 days? Why such an arbitrarily small number?
A mother, father, and daughter are the 3 new COVID-19 community cases in Auckland.
I'm sorry, 3 cases. 3 community cases, and you guys are locking down. I mean, I know your population is small, but, like, Jesus.
The 3 new cases all belong to a single household in Papatoto.
A single household? Just freaking quarantine the family. Why are you locking down the whole freaking city, and why are you only locking it down for 3 days? What is with the power trip of these governments? Yeah, New Zealand and parts of Australia, yeah. Yeah, they did shut down.
The mother works at LSG Skyships, which services planes at the airport. The father is self-employed and the daughter goes to Papatoto High School. Here's what we know. Link. About the cases. Period. Look back at our live blog from this evening. COVID navigation. Share this. List 5 link. End of. Copyright. Subscribe.
What a stupid situation. There are 3 cases isolated to one family, and the whole freaking city is locking down. And parts of New Zealand, like, and, oh. Hello, Costin. Share the stream, guys. Let's see if we can get some more people in here. What a ridiculous idea. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my freaking goodness. Okay, let's go on to the next story. Pincalo sent me a few here. Okay. Hey, Selected Boy. Yeah, lock the whole joint down. Exactly. 3 people are sick. Lock the whole country down. Oh my god. Ugh. I don't want to try the new Safari right now. I'm busy doing something else. Okay. Okay. Share the screen. All right. So this is an opinion piece written by someone named Lisa Raverty in defense of the monarchy and our gracious queen. God save our gracious queen. Anyway. Republicanism is not and has never been in our genes. Julie Payette's problems as Gigi are no reason to ditch centuries of tradition. Yes, there is. Okay, let's take a look at this ass-kissery.
Call me sentimental, or worse, a romantic, but true to my roots, I am a monarchist. Even astronaut Julie Payette cannot take that away from me. I won't let someone who was miscast as Governor General taint a tradition 487 years old, dating back to the arrival of Jacques Cartier. You are...
Then, if you're a monarchist, dear, there is a lovely country across the Atlantic Ocean called the United Kingdom. Off you go! Bye-bye!
My roots, you ask? Yes, my roots are roots. Canada is one of the oldest continuous monarchies on Earth.
What? 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 Okay. Canada, as an entity in itself, is not even 200 years old yet.
Breathe.
No. Okay. Before that, it was called British North America. All right? And even that was only established in the 1500s. Okay? So that's 500 years old. Do you know how old Britain is? Do you know how old France is? Do you know how old Spain is? Do you know how old China is? What the what are you talking about?
Set. Check custom. 12:16 p.m. Ghost dog 999. Cross the F. 4 stars. Pond.
Yeah, cross the pond, yep.
Streamlabs.
Exactly.
Selected boy. Exactly a ghost dog 999.
Oh my
Chat. Set.
good God. Okay, so Canada apparently is the oldest contiguous monarchy on Earth. Okay.
YouTube video. YouTube. And up. Canada, in any and all of its incarnations, was always a monarchy, not a serious whiff of republicanism in the air here. Until the Treaty of Paris ceded the colony of New France to the British in 1763, Canada was considered a viceroyalty of the realm of France. Chrome has new...
Okay. That still doesn't make it the oldest monarchy on Earth.
From Francois to Louis XV, Canada was ruled by absolute French monarchs. You are currently...
That's nice. That still doesn't make it the oldest monarchy, and it still doesn't mean things can't change. And by the way, the French monarchy kinda had a bloody end. Not very successful was the French monarchy.
12:17 p.m. Lord Famine. They did say continuous monarchy, but they're still wrong.
They did say continuous monarchy, but they're still wrong. Yeah, yeah.
16 p.m. Ghost dog 999. Cross the F. 12 custom. 12:18 p.m. Lord Famine. She said one of, not the oldest.
Oh, I thought she said it was the oldest. Hold on.
When the British took over, Canadians switched allegiance to another king, George III and his successors, all the way to Queen Elizabeth II, the current sovereign, and a splendid one, too. Regal political power was shed along the way, but the Queen still has benevolent influence over 16 countries, including ours. You are...
Very benevolent influence in the case of ours, but okay.
Story continues. Republicanism is not and has never been in our genes, and if I look at the way our southern neighbors mistreat their republic, I'll stick to what I know. Thank you.
What kind of high and mighty crap are you spewing? Look at our country right now. You think Canada is free from that microscope? And you don't understand, just from how you're writing right now, you don't understand how the United States Republic works. So you know what? Before you start talking about how they mistreat their republic, how about we start talking about how we're mistreating our fucking Constitution? Miss High and Mighty. Oh, us Canadians, we're so good. Look at how the Americans mistreat the Republic. You know what? Get off your high horse, people in glass houses. People in glass houses, come on.
Streamlabs. 12:19 p.m. Ghost Dog 999. You think this moron knows history? They don't know history. The book hit them in the head multiple times at Fine Press.
Oh,
12:18 p.m. Lord Famine. Custom.
let's see here.
Origins, traditions, and identity have become increasingly important in a fragmented yet globalized world. Who we are, where we came from, who our ancestors were have become vectors of universal pride. You are correct.
No, they haven't. They've become vectors of universal shame and bullying and hatred. Nobody is proud of where they come from anymore unless you're the correct color. Otherwise, screw your ancestors, screw where you came from, and screw you because you're the bad guy. What are you... Where has this person been living? Is there room under that rock of ignorance that she's living under? Because, you know, it would be really nice to take a break from knowing all about this shit.
I can understand why Quebecers reject the British monarch, who still represents a brutal conquest and the oppression that followed, as their head of state. Fair enough. But do they know what they would be discarding? You are current.
Yeah, because the French were oh so gentle and nice to the natives.
These days, the media, and especially the French language media, is abuzz with stories about getting rid of the monarchy. Payette's departure, plus the promise of a large pension, has made many Canadians cringe. But any move to get rid of a substantial part of our history and tradition should be widely debated before it is ever made. Such decisions cannot be undone.
Nobody's talking about getting rid of the Governor General's position. What they're talking about is having a committee appoint the Governor General instead of the Prime Minister, so the Prime Minister can't pick someone who will let him do whatever the hell he wants. Holy crap. This person sucked their way to an A in history, I guarantee you.
And please, not over an unpleasant GG. You are correct.
They're not trying to get rid of the Governor General's position.
Every political system has its pros and cons, but is it any coincidence that some of the most stable and progressive countries on earth are constitutional monarchies? Allow me a short list. The United Kingdom, Sweden, Denmark, Norway, the Netherlands, Belgium, Spain, Japan, Australia, New Zealand. Not exactly a Democrat chopping Henry VIII wannabes. You are...
Okay, do you know how long ago Henry VIII lived? This person's only view of history is the History Channel. I swear to God. I swear to God. The only reason this person knows about history is because they watched the History Channel and was like, yeah, that makes sense.
So you ask, what's in it for us? Well, constitutional monarchies provide stability and continuity, especially in times of uncertainty. Furthermore, it is believed that a coup d'etat is unlikely to succeed in a constitutional monarchy. In 1981, Juan Carlos, then the King of Spain, and since disgraced, prevented a coup engineered by army generals who wanted Spain to revert to a Franco-inspired dictatorship. A coup it seemed no one but Juan Carlos, with his then moral and military authority and prestige, could stop in its tracks. You are correct.
That sounds a little bit more like a... Oh, exactly, Ghost Dog.
Story continues. Other advantages. In the United States, where the president is both head of state and head of government, there were times during the Great Trump derangement when I found myself wishing for an American king or queen to tell the president to stop his nonsense.
What? Okay. You do know that since the Constitution was ratified in Canada, the Queen has never told a Prime Minister to, quote, stop their nonsense. You do know that, right? You do know that the Queen doesn't tell the Prime Minister what to do. You do know that there's language in the Constitution that prevents that, right? Please tell me you know that. You're sitting here waxing poetic about the great benefits of a constitutional monarchy, and yet you don't know that our Constitution was written specifically so the Queen couldn't tell the Prime Minister what to do, because that was a big fear, especially from the French. Oh my God! Oh my God!
Show latest messages. Button. Show latest messages. 12:25 p.m. Lord Famine. She hasn't, but I still hold out hope that she will. 12:23 p.m. Ghost Dog 999. Who cares what your great custom emoji?
Okay, let's move on.
Other advantages of constitutional monarchies: members of the royal family raise gazillions for charity, much more than they cost the public purse, being born into the job. And rich, they are immune to corruption. They also embody
The royal family is immune to corruption. Oh fuck. Oh God. Okay. Oh my God. Oh my God. The royal family is immune to corruption. Hi. Did you forget Prince Andrew's little upset with Epstein there? Lisa.
12:26 p.m. Lord Famine. I keep reminding people that the GG can technically fire everybody in Parliament, but wouldn't.
I keep reminding people that technically the GG could fire everybody in Parliament, but wouldn't. No, they wouldn't.
12:26 p.m. Lord Famine. Don't be yourself, PP.
Oh.
12:23 p.m. Custom emojis. Button.
Oh God.
Monarchies do evolve with the times. Ours could shed a little pomp and circumstance, but their usefulness is documented by the centuries they shaped. Ours serves us well today. Get rid of pay it, but please, let's keep our gracious queen.
Nobody's talking about getting rid of the head of state. They're talking about appointing the GG by committee. That's all people want.
Chat custom. 12:27 p.m. The Baradone blurred. Hey, just dropping in to show support.
Hey Jay.
Chat custom. 12:26.
I was sent a news story that makes me angry.
Link. Brewery at Yahoo. Heading level 2.
Oh my God. This lady has no idea. I think the 3-year-old just found a power tool. Oh my God, that made me angry.
12:27 p.m. Ghost Dog 999. WTF? I am not Canadian, and I know this person face potting. Person face custom. 12:27 p.m. The Baradone blurred. Hey, just
What the fuck? I know I'm not Canadian, and even I know this person's. Yeah, I know, right?
linktree 3.
Oh man, this is insane. Like, I can't believe this person unironically wrote those words. Oh. Oh. That's just insane. Oh my God. Okay. All right. Okay. So, Texas starts rolling power outages to cope with deep freeze. Oh yeah, it's pretty nasty for Texas. They're not used to this. So I could imagine that this is not fun for them. Hey there, press.
Check your logic. Ranty press.
Yes, Ranty Press.
Ghost Dog 999. WTF? I am not Canadian. Custom emoji. Full screen.
Between my opening rants and the news story I just read, whoo boy. All right. So Texas is dealing with snowfalls, and they're trying to keep their residents warm, and I don't think they have enough power to do that. So let's read about this.
The state of Texas continued to reel under a deep freeze, leaving utilities scrambling to meet record power demand and forcing the state's grid operator to enforce rotating blackouts early on Monday.
Damn. That's gotta be rough, especially for people in Texas.
Apart from Texas, much of the United States from the Pacific Northwest through the Great Plains and into the Mid-Atlantic states has been in the grip of bone-chilling weather over the weekend, featuring snow, sleet, and freezing rain.
Yeah.
YouTube video.
It's been snowing
YouTube.
here as well, and it's been
YouTube.
for this year, because usually by this time of year we would have had like -20 temperatures, but it's been a pretty mild winter for us, and it dropped to minus double digits over the weekend and late last week. So it's been pretty chilly. I lived in Texas for many years. I still don't understand to this day why they don't use rock salt. Oh, they don't? Huh. They use sand to melt snow? That's weird. In Texas, if they see more than 5 flakes of snow, it's a major catastrophe. Yeah, I bet.
The Electric Reliability Council of Texas, ERCOT, has sought to cut power use in response to winter record of 69,150 megawatts on Sunday evening, more than 3,200 megawatts higher than the previous winter peak in January 2018. Chrome has...
Damn.
YouTube video. Group, at least 5 killed and up. Unmute video. Reserves have dropped below 1,000 megawatts and transmission companies have been ordered to reduce demand on system, ERCOT said. Chrome has...
That's scary.
Traffic lights and other infrastructure may be temporarily without power, the agency said on Twitter.
Wow. Remember, guys, I don't know if... Is it the same down there as it is up here? If your lights are out, you treat it like a 4-way stop? Because that's how it is up here. If the street lights aren't working, you treat it like it's a 4-way stop.
A Level 3 emergency notice was issued by the regulator, urging customers to limit power usage and prevent an uncontrolled system-wide outage.
How do you limit power usage, though? Like, if you need to have your furnace running, I guess, like, turn off your lights and, maybe charge one thing at a time. Like, I don't know. That's crazy.
Story continues. The third-party ad frame 2.
I would not want to live in Texas right now.
The National Weather Service said an Arctic air mass had spread southwards, well beyond areas accustomed to freezing weather, with winter storm warnings posted for most of the Gulf Coast region, Oklahoma and Missouri.
Wow.
The storms knocked out nearly half the wind power generation capacity of Texas on Sunday.
Yeah, I bet.
Of the 25,000 plus megawatts of wind power capacity normally available in Texas, 12,000 megawatts was out of service on Sunday morning, an ERCOT spokeswoman said.
Wow. So, like, the windmills are freezing. This is great. Because not only is this cold and you need your heat and everything to be working, but Texans just aren't used to it, right? So, what would we do up here if we had this issue? We'd put on extra clothes. We'd, get the heavy plastic and put it on our windows and all that stuff, right? In Texas, you're not used to that shit. You don't think to do that shit because you've never had to. So you're like, do you even own heavy clothes? You know what I mean? Like, oh man. Let's see. Oh my god, they closed the city for an inch of snow? That's hilarious. That's crazy. An inch of snow.
YouTube video. YouTube and up. Unmute video button. Wind generation ranks as the second largest source of electricity in Texas, accounting for 23% of state power supplies last year behind natural gas, which served 45%, ERCOT estimates. Energy traders last week said that some 5-minute power prices in Texas approached $4,000 per megawatt hour. Compares with an
Wow!
ERCOT North average of $26 in 2020. Link. View on Toronto's.
That's
Chrome has no
insane! Holy shit! Well, I hope this lessens up for Texas, because that is not an enviable situation to be in, rolling blackouts in the wintertime. Alright, next item. Next item! So here we go.
TikTok. Now, you read chat message input. Cut. 12:35 p.m. Lord Famine is down there with the instruction needed to that weather.
No, they're not. They're really not built with insulation needed. This is
12:35
oof.
Streamlabs. Soup. 12:34 p.m. Ghost dog 999. You know in my state Canada is in the traffic. Cut. Chat message sent. Dim.
Okay. So this article is another Canadian story about vaccines being shipped. Okay, let's see. Yes, share screen, please.
Twitter. Now. Tigress Handy replied. I guess I was the snooze to me, mommy.
Let's see. Let's see here. Okay.
12:35 p.m. Cut. Chat message.
So this story,
Text field. Double tap to edit.
India to ship COVID-19 vaccines to Canada as diplomatic tension eases. Apparently they're sending us AstraZeneca stuff. So let's take a listen here.
Bengaluru, India's Serum Institute will ship COVID-19 vaccines to Canada within a month, its chief executive said on Monday, in a sign a diplomatic row triggered by Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's comments on political protests in India was easing.
Yeah, because Trudeau likes to say, just do what your government says. Okay.
Trudeau said the month-long protests by farmers on the outskirts of Delhi were concerning, drawing a rebuke from the Indian government which said it was an internal matter.
It was an internal matter, and he had no business talking about it.
YouTube video. YouTube and up. YouTube.
But Trudeau can't keep his frickin' nose out of
YouTube
things.
video. Kraken Tim Hortons. Premier 4 degree and up. Unmute video button. Last week, however, Trudeau spoke to Indian counterpart Narendra Modi and they discussed the two countries' commitment to democracy. Modi also said India would do its best to supply COVID-19 vaccines sought by Canada.
You know what would have helped get the vaccines to Canada, like, earlier? Had Trudeau and his health minister actually done their jobs and procured the right amount of doses.
Chat custom. 12:35 p.m. Send. Dimmed. Close. Tap to close. Chat 12:30 p.m. Ghost chat message input.
I am guaranteeing you right now that America has most likely vaccinated close to the amount of people that we have in our country.
Show latest message. Custom. Show
We have vaccinated not even 1 million yet.
famine. The house is down there. Cut. Chat message input.
That's just sad.
On Monday, Adar Puna Allah, the chief executive of Serum Institute of India, SI, the world's largest vaccine maker, reaffirmed that commitment. As we await regulatory approvals from Canada, I assure you, at Serum Institute India will fly out number Covishield to Canada in less than a month. I'm on it, Puna Allah said in a tweet, using the brand name under which Serum produces the shot developed by Oxford University and AstraZeneca plc.
Less than a month. So we have to wait a month for these doses.
YouTube video. Group China and Canada. And unmute India experts and story continued. Third Story continues.
Where'd it
below.
go?
Frame 3. Third party. Story India said unmute video unmute video button. India said has emerged as a key vaccine supplier amid the pandemic. Canada, like many other countries, is relying on foreign supplies because it is unable to produce the vaccine locally.
Bullshit. We have plenty of vaccine manufacturing capacity. That was one of the problems that the conservative opposition was having with this, is that we actually have vaccination manufacturing capacity in Canada, but Trudeau wouldn't authorize us to look at manufacturing vaccine locally. So yeah.
Experts and officials say India has been trying to use its vaccine dominance to shore up diplomatic support. You are currently on attack.
Wouldn't you if you had that power?
Story continues below. Third-party ad content. Frame 3. End of. List 4 items. Chrome. Share. End.
I mean,
Heading
I don't
level
know
2.
what you would expect.
Frame 4. End of. Footer.
Oh, that's the end of the story. Okay. So yeah, this is what happens when you don't authorize your own country to make vaccine. Yeah. That is exactly what happens. Okay, next story. This is from the CBC. No, I'm not shocked. I'm really not, Ghost Dog. Okay, let's see here. Okay. Share the screen. So this is a cool story. Getting away from the things that make us angry. Okay, 5,000-year-old brewery, possibly world's oldest, uncovered in Egypt. So this is pretty cool. So this was published yesterday. And this is a picture of what the archaeologists discovered. So this is pretty cool. Let's read about it. No one can seem to plan anything effectively. You're not wrong, Maddie. Well, let's see. All that Trudeau is good at is kissing ass and sticking his foot in his mouth. Again, not wrong. Okay, let's see here.
American and Egyptian archaeologists have unearthed what could be the oldest known beer factory at one of the most prominent archaeological sites of ancient Egypt, according to a top antiquities official.
Cool.
Mustafa Waziri, Secretary General of the Supreme Council of Antiquities, said the factory was found in Abydos, an ancient burial ground located in the desert west of the Nile River, over 450 kilometers south of Cairo.
Okay.
He said the factory apparently dates back to the region of King Narmer, who is widely known for his unification of ancient Egypt at the beginning of the First Dynastic period, 3150 BC 2613 BC.
Cool.
Advertisement. Archaeologists found 8 huge units, each is 20 meters, about 65 feet, long and 2.5 meters, about 8 feet, wide. Each unit includes some 40 pottery basins in 2 rows, which had been used to heat up a mixture of grains and water to produce beer, Waziri said.
Very, very cool.
Egypt Antiquities/image. The brewery used clay pots used to warm mixtures of grain and water. The Egyptian Ministry of Antiquities/handout vial.
So this is their, I think this is a picture of the pottery barrels that they used. So that's very cool. Hey, Party Bear. Is it possible to oust an incompetent prime minister? Yes. Selected boy. Yes, it is. What has to happen is there has to be a vote of confidence. And if you get enough votes of no confidence, then an election is called. So that's what has to happen. This doesn't surprise me. Egyptians would make beer to drink while working because they didn't have a way to clean the water. Oh, I didn't know that. I did not know that at all. So there were a bunch of drunk construction workers. Well, could you imagine getting drunk at in the desert sun? That would be whew.
Adams said the factory was apparently built in this area to provide royal rituals with beer, given that archaeologists found evidences showing the use of beer in sacrificial rites of ancient Egyptians.
Okay.
British archaeologists were the first to mention the existence of that factory early 1900s, but they couldn't determine its location, the Antiquities Ministry said. With its vast cemeteries and temples from the earliest times of ancient Egypt, Abydos was known for monuments honoring Osiris, ancient Egypt's god of underworld and the deity responsible for judging souls in the afterlife.
Yep.
You list one item.
Yeah, Osiris
Bullet,
was
link, end of the list. List one item. Bullet, link, end of the list. Advertisement.
very important.
Third party at frame 1. End of. The necropolis had been used in every period of early Egyptian history, from the prehistoric age to Roman times. Egypt has announced dozens of ancient discoveries in the past couple of years, in the hope of attracting more tourists. You are...
Yeah, well, stuff is still not pretty, I'm not sure I'd go to Egypt right now.
The tourism industry has been reeling from the political turmoil following the 2011 popular uprising that toppled longtime autocrat Hosni Mubarak. The sector was also dealt a further blow last year by the coronavirus pandemic.
Yeah.
Link. See?
Between COVID and politics, nobody wants to go to Egypt. And I don't blame them.
12:47 p.m. Selected Boy. At Maddie on WM Media. Well, shit, I didn't think it was possible to be wasted in construction lol.
Let's see. Is there one more story? I think there might be. Yes, there is. Okay. A rural-urban divide. Oh, this will be interesting. Okay, let's get this screen shared. Okay. So let's take a look here. So this headline says a rural-urban divide. Data gives most detailed look at where CERB went. So CERB was a benefit that the federal government of Canada made called the Canadian Emergency Recovery or Response Benefit for COVID. So let's take a look at where the money went, shall we?
Show latest messages. 12:48 p.m. Streamlabs. Pink Hallow is selling his gorgeous photos framed in high gloss over on https://blindpress.net/merch. Proceeds go to a new digital camera for more photos.
Okay. Let's get through all the stupid links. Okay, here we go.
Ottawa, Kelly Ernst recalls standing on sidewalks, waving to needy families in Calgary's northeast as they opened their doors to pick up food hampers. Ernst, vice president for vulnerable populations at Calgary's Centre for Newcomers, said the memory speaks to how COVID-19 hurt the community, socially and economically. Ernst said the Skyview Ranch neighborhood is one of the most diverse in the country, with a high proportion of visible minorities and newcomers. Residents are often employed in precarious retail jobs or in warehouses, Ernst said. Others work at the city's airport or in the municipal transit system, both of which were also affected by the pandemic.
I bet they were.
Some of the first people to be laid off during the downturn were people in these precarious jobs, Ernst said, adding many were left looking for some way to get through this whole thing. Almost 7 in every 10 residents over age 15 in Skyview Ranch received the Canada Emergency Response Benefit in the initial month that the pandemic aid was available, one of the highest concentrations among over 1,600 neighborhoods the Canadian press analyzed.
That's 70%. That's crazy.
Federal data, obtained through the Access to Information Act, provides the most detailed picture yet of where billions of dollars in emergency aid went last year. The data is broken down by the first 3 characters of postal codes, known as forward sortation areas, to determine the number of active recipients at any time anywhere in the country. The Canadian Press used population counts from the 2016 census to calculate what percentage of the population over age 15 in each forward sortation area received the CERB in any 4-week pay period.
Okay.
Some forward sortation areas in the data from Employment and Social Development Canada were created after the 2016 census and weren't included in the analysis. Over its lifespan between late March and October of last year, the CERB paid out nearly $82 billion to 8.9 million people whose incomes crashed because they saw their hours slashed or lost their jobs entirely. You are currently
$82 billion to 8 million people. Money tree go brr. Money printer go brr.
Some 3 million people lost their jobs in March and April as non-essential businesses were ordered closed, and 2.5 million more worked less than half their usual hours. The data from Employment and Social Development Canada show that 6.5 million people received the $500 a week CERB during the first 4 weeks it was available, or more than 1 in 5 Canadians over age 15. What emerges from that initial wave is a largely rural-urban split, with higher proportions of populations relying on the CERB in cities compared to rural parts of the country.
Well, duh.
Neighborhoods in Brampton, OT, on Toronto's northwest edge, had the largest volume of CERB recipients with postal code areas averaging over 15,160 recipients per 4-week pay period.
God damn.
Send. Check custom. 12:50 p.m. Streamlabs. 12.
That's crazy.
Selected boy. What's up, it's Luna.
Hey, Sora Luna.
p.m. Streamlabs. Don't want to buy merch. 12:49 p.m. Sora Luna. Good morning. Custom emojis.
CERB usage also appears higher in urban areas that had higher COVID-19 case counts, which was and remains the case in Calgary's northeast. As cities relied more on accommodations, tourism and food as drivers of economic growth, the more they would have been sideswiped by the pandemic, and larger centers have a higher concentration of jobs in these areas, said David McDonald, senior economist at the Canadian Centre for Policy Alternatives, who has studied the CERB.
Yeah.
More rural areas of the country and certain cities that have a higher reliance on, say, natural resources wouldn't have been hit as hard.
So this article was written by Captain Obvious.
12:50 p.m. Streamlabs. Super. 12:50. Selected boy. What's up, it's Luna.
In Skyview Ranch, census data says 12% lived below the poverty line in 2016, and about 3 in 10 owners and 4 in 10 renters faced a housing affordability crunch, meaning they spent 30% or more of their incomes on shelter. Many live in multi-generational households, which the local city councillor said caused additional concerns about students and working adults spreading the virus to grandparents.
Yep.
These are real worries and challenges that members of my community have been facing throughout a pandemic, said Count George Chahal. The CERB program and the additional support to small businesses was a huge relief for the fear with many folks in my ward. The CERB program paid out $500 per week for people whose incomes had fallen to nothing as a result of the pandemic. The federal Liberals amended the program in April to set a monthly income threshold of $1,000.
Ouch. That's a big cutback.
At the outset, there were 6,520 residents of Skyview Ranch on the CERB, about 69.4% of the population 15 and up. Then things improved. Businesses reopened and workers were rehired. The decline in the program's use in Calgary's northeast mirrored a nationwide drop in recipients overall, even though there were local increases here and there. In all, there were 4.4 million recipients in the CERB's second month, the biggest month-to-month change, 3.7 million inches the third, and a steady decline to almost 2.3 million recipients by the time the CERB was replaced by a trio of new recovery benefits and a revamped and restarted employment insurance system.
12:50 p.m.
That's still a lot of people.
Over the lifetime of the CERB, the Ontario town of East Gwillimbury had the highest average number of residents accessing the program, at 24%. The town with the lowest percentage was Winkler, Man, at 3.83%. In Skyview Ranch, the number of recipients in the last month of the CERB stood at 2,440, or about 1/4 of those over age 15. There is still hardship in Skyview Ranch. The area has seen a spike in COVID-19 cases and incomes have dropped again as restrictions rolled in through December, part of a wider drop in the national labor market. Chahal said there still is a need in the area for government aid like the federal recovery benefits.
Yes.
Maybe not for everybody, he said, but there are going to be a lot of folks who are going to be in need of assistance in the upcoming months as we move from this stage of the pandemic and into economic recovery.
Again, this article is kind of a well duh scenario because everybody knows
12:50 p.m.
that that's what happens. So let's see, is there any more stuff to read about? Let's see. Is there any? Oh yeah, there is one more. This will be the last story of the show. Oh my goodness. Okay. Share. Okay. Michael McDowell wins crash-filled Daytona 500. Okay. So if you're into the Daytona stuff, here's a story for you. Where's Okay. Here we go.
Michael McDowell emerged from an ugly final lap wreck to take the lead and went on to win Sunday's weather and crash-delayed running of the Daytona 500 at Daytona International Speedway. You are currently on replay. Play video. The victory. The front row motors. Sendo News and frame. The victory was McDowell's first in the NASCAR Cup Series in 357 starts.
Okay.
Sendo News and frame. Frame. Unmute. Volume level. Full screen. Pause. Captions. The front row. Michael McDowell. Third-party ad. Chrome has new win. Hamlin was attempting. Michael McDowell. Rounding out. Defending series. The front row motorsports driver was running third behind Team Penske teammates Joey Logano and Brad Keselowski on the final lap when he bumped Keselowski from behind, who then hit Logano and sent both into spinning wrecks that tore up both cars.
Oops.
Defending series champion Chase Elliott finished second while Austin Dillon of Richard Childress Racing came in third. Replay.
Wait, so he spun out his teammates and then was like, I'm gonna win anyway! Ha ha ha!
Rounding out the top five were Kevin Harvick, Ford, of Stewart Haas Racing and Denny Hamlin Toyota of Joe Gibbs Racing. Michael McDowell, driver of the number 34 Loves Travel Stops Ford, celebrates in victory lane after winning the NASCAR Cup Series 63rd Annual Daytona 500 at Daytona International. Hamlin was attempting to become the first driver in history to win 3 straight 500s, and for much of the race it appeared he just might, as he led a race best 98 laps of the 200-lap race.
200? I didn't know it was that long.
Story continues. The third-party ad frame 2. End of. Third-party ad.
I could just imagine, though, like, crashing into your teammates, making wreck, and then going, I'm gonna win! Ha ha ha! Like...
But after the final green flag pit stop of the night, a line of 5 Fords working in concert blew past Hamlin Toyota to end his bid. You are currently... The race marked the debut of the 23XI team owned by basketball superstar Michael Jordan and Hamlin, driven by Bubba Wallace. Wallace finished 17th but ran near the front for much of the second stage and led 1 lap.
Michael Jordan owns a racing team? I didn't know that.
YouTube video.
See, this is how much I know about racing. Like, Michael Jordan owns a race team? Okay, cool.
YouTube. Frame. End of. Unmute video. Just 15. Chrome has just 15 of 200 laps had been run when a lightning strike near the speedway caused the red flag to be waved.
Oh,
Minutes
shit.
later, heavy rain began to fall.
Oh, that
The race
sucks.
would not restart until 5 hours and 40 minutes later. You are correct. The weather was not the only problem for a large handful of teams and drivers who were considered to be contenders for victory in NASCAR's most important race. A big wreck just 14 laps into the race took out a number of big-name drivers, including Martin Truex Jr., Eric Almirola, Ryan Newman, Alex Bowman, Matt DiBenedetto, Eric Jones, Jamie McMurray, Kurt Busch, and Ryan Blaney.
Holy
In all, 16 cars were
shit!
involved.
It's like a freaking pileup on the speedway.
Chat sent. Chat custom. 12:58 p.m. Sora Luna. Hello. And Ghost Dog 19. 12:58 p.m. Lord Famine. You gotta do what you gotta do to win.
You gotta do what you gotta do to win.
Selected void.
I guess?
12:56 p.m. Dog 999. Hey, it's Sora Luna.
But still, like, fuck my team. I'm gonna win.
Almirola, Bowman, Daniel Suarez, David Reagan, Anthony Alfredo, Chris Busher, Ryan Blaney Newman and Jones would not return while several others suffered significant damage.
I hope nobody got severely
Walk
injured.
began when Christopher Bell of Joe Gibbs Racing bumped drafted Almirola and spun him out near the front of the field. We were just getting pushed too hard too early, Stuart Haas Racing's Almirola said.
There's a child opening my door.
YouTube video. YouTube. And up. You unmute video, Newman said. I had the wreck missed, but got hit from someplace and that was the end of our day.
That sucks.
Bowman had started the race from the pole and was running in the top 3 when the wreck occurred. Hate that superspeedway racing works out that way sometimes, the Hendrick Motorsports driver said, but that's just part of the game.
Yeah, I guess so.
Link. View on Toronto. Tucson. Chrome. List for item.
So yeah, that was a lot of wreckage apparently at the Daytona 500 this weekend. And let's see, is there any more stories left? No, there's one. Oh, no, there's not. Okay. So, guys, that's been an hour of the coffee stream. And I hope you enjoyed yourselves as much as I enjoyed putting it on for you. Please come back tomorrow for the Beat the Blind Girl stream at 1 o'clock. And I hope you'll be there for that. If you do have a TikTok account and you would like to follow me over there, it is just search for blind.press. I will most likely be going live over there at some point today. But yeah. And I hope you all had a fantastic weekend and a good Valentine's Day. And I hope that you will come back tomorrow for Beat the Blind Girl. Thank you all for watching, and remember to stay tuned for any changes to the Blind and the Special. We are, like I said at the beginning of the stream, considering changing the time that we do it. So, who's at my door?
Hi, Mommy.
Hi. Can you say goodbye to chat?
Goodbye, Dad.
Alright, guys. I will see you all later. The OnlyFans is back up because Patreon doesn't like the spicier content. So my blogs and everything are still gonna be on Patreon, but the photo shoots, like the lube.
Everything's gonna be on both, except for the stuff you're not really supposed to put on Patreon.
Yeah. So yeah, check that out. And thank you for watching, everybody, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for Beat the Blind Girl. Have a great rest of your Monday. Goodbye.